Hello, we're here to talk about every artsy film nerd's favorite film, Babylon. This movie sucked. I'm glad it bombed because what the fuck was this movie? You know, it's bad for the people who are involved, but maybe don't make a movie of such ludicrous amount of budget. The amount of Google this up for yourself. Look at the budget of this movie and how much it made. Did they really expect it to make that much money? Like at this point, it was clearly like a money laundering scheme where they had to siphon in money somewhere. So they were like, "Here, this film." This movie is terrible. It's long, and that's one thing which a lot of foreign audiences complain about, right? Like, oh, the movies are long. Like me being Indian, I'm used to movies being an average of 3 hours. Like that's just normal average timing for me. The problem is when it starts to feel dragged, and this movie has so much of nothing happening. And it's not one of those slow burn movies. Things are happening from the get go, by the way. It's just such a prolonged, dragged out movie, which is so bleh. It's like another one of those films which is showing the history of cinema and how eventually, this the shift from like not black and white, what do you say? Like without voice. Like the shift from without voice to like audio. I'm using all the wrong terms right now, but you get what I mean. All the nerds in the comment, they got me. No, this movie is a good historical piece. It's like a good, oh man, this is what happened. But I can't help but feel, first of all, directed by Damien Chazelle, who made La La Land, which I think is one of my top 10 movies of all time. This movie is so nerdy in a sense that it's really made for people who I know for a fact there are people who think about the history of cinema and get a big fat boner. Damien Chazelle is one of them. And all the people who like this movie are also like, they're exactly the kind of people who are like, oh my god, like this movie is so perfect. It's like cinema, it's art, and then they jerk off in a corner because they just love how artsy and beautiful it is. I, for the love of God, cannot understand how people found this entertaining. First of all, let's just talk about the performances because that's clearly the best part. Diego Calva, fantastic. I've never seen him in any other movie, but he plays his character to perfection. Fantastic actor. Honestly, I'm so happy he got this movie. Good for him. I hope he made good money from this because he absolutely kills it. He's very much the protagonist of the film, absolutely kills it. He does an incredible job. And in general, I think everyone who acts in this movie, like on the acting side of things, this movie is great. Margot Robbie is giving a wonderful performance, absolutely killing it with what's the character's name? Nelly Leroy. Yeah. Margot Robbie is doing a fantastic job. Brad Pitt's doing a great job. He's not even like the main character. He's just one of the character arcs. But he does a great job, and it's so funny that every time people want to like show clips of this movie, they always show like that one or two Brad Pitt scenes because honestly, his whole subsection is the best part. Like his whole character arc is the thing which makes the movie somewhat watchable, and it's his acting and it's what his character goes through, which is the only engaging part of the movie for me, where I'm really like, damn, yeah, like you really show this. But the movie just goes on and on. It's about this self-destructive actress, Nellie Leroy. Whoa, Nellie Leroy, who is, yeah, it just shows how the transition from like, silent films to like films with audio, and how all these big stars of the silent films just kind of get reduced to nothing in the end because like the people just don't like it. And it's a great, see, again with the Brad Pitt stuff, there's a great point where people are laughing at his performance when he has audio. And I think he asked someone, or he wonders to himself, what did I do wrong? But he didn't do anything wrong. It's just that the times changed. Great stuff. I love the aspect of that. If only they hadn't taken that one point and super extended it for the entire fucking film. This movie is so nerdy. It's a movie which could have been much shorter. It's a movie which got its point across halfway through, by the way. There's like another thing I want to point out. Like, okay, so Margot Robbie plays like a character who's come from like, she's not like a well-known person. She comes from like other places, and she wants to show people, yeah, I'm a country bumpkin, but guess what? I'm crazy and all of that. There's like a whole dragged out scene where her dad's like taking credit, and she's like, oh yeah, fight a snake, and then she gets bitten by a snake. And then they repeat the same point they were trying to prove, like, oh yeah, basically the whole point of the scene was Margot Robbie is trying to be like, oh, you know what, I am a country bumpkin and I am crazy. And then they do it all over again, where she's at like a super elite rich person place, and then she like fucking starts slobbering and spitting and puking. I like that better, like the whole slobbering and puking, because she literally pukes in front of the elites. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, Margot. But the whole scene before that just kind of feels like, nice, nice. Oh, a hot Asian lady, ha, nice. Hmm. I, the whole movie feels like this 80% of the time. And then Margot has just become like this self-destructive person. And then oh my god, oh yeah, by the way, Tobey Maguire's in this film, if you want to know. That whole section is supposed to be like, oh, the dark side of stuff, cannibalism and all that. First of all, how did they make Tobey Maguire so? I just was looking at this. I was fascinated by how he was again. No complaints on the acting side, but the character itself is so. What is happening here? Like it felt like they're trying to do like a 180, 360-degree switch, but it just felt stupid and lame, and it just takes into like it does what Tarantino does good, but much worse. Where I could compare this to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I didn't like that movie either. But there at least it kind of was fun towards the end, where oh my god, the whole movie was like this nice long story, and then it just took a 180 degree and it became like this violent flick. This movie does the same, but it just doesn't hit the same because it takes so long to get to that point, and it's just at the end, and it kind of feels like, man, this feels kind of pointless. Why did they have to include this entire section? And I kid you not, and I'm not even joking, there is Diego Calva's character Manny Torres, there is a scene where he watches a movie years and years after he's left all this behind, and they have like a 1 to 2 minute montage of all the blockbuster films in a fucking weird high PPT. It's not a PPT, but it's like zooming through his eyes, and he starts crying. It is the most nerdiest fucking shit I've ever seen. I am a nerd myself, and I was like, holy fuck, this is nerdy as hell. If someone, I would bully someone if they were like, oh my god, like, I would actually bully them because what do you mean? You just basically put something you jerk off to in a film, Damien Chazelle. And he just was like, yes, this is cinema. People will like this. Of course, it didn't make any money. This was ass. I'm sorry, like that whole scene really was the nail in the coffin for me, where I was like, this movie was made for like film students. Like this movie was made for film students who watch this and they're like, wow, I have inspiration for my next project. That assignment, I'm gonna get like an A++ on it. It was so nerdy. I feel like it shouldn't have been even released in theaters. It should have been released straight to like streaming services so that only a select few people can watch it. I unfortunately chose to watch it despite not watching it in the theater, and for good reason. I would have been very upset if I spent money to go to a theater and watch this. Oh my god, this movie infuriates me because it could have been much better. I like the themes which are in the movie, I like the point it was trying to drive. I think it could have been done in 1 hour lesser than the overall movie length, and I think it could have been done without feeling so fucking nerdy. Yeah, end notes. That's it. I don't have much more to rant about this film. Can you tell I didn't like this film? If I had to give it a rating, it's not terrible. Again, it's not a terrible film, but it's a bad film. I'm gonna say 2 out of 5. It's like a 2-star film for me. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Don't worry, I know I was saying it's nerdy or you guys are nerds, but I'd really like to know why people like this movie. I want someone to explain to me how they felt about it. And I don't want to read like some generic review. I want people to talk about like their personal experience. So what did you think that this movie is really good, and why did you think so? Let me know in the comments below. And if you thought this movie was ass, yeah, we're in the same boat. But anyway, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.